Hi Nana, we were learning the processes involved during metallurgy. So in that now we are going to discuss about the conversion of ore, the conversion of ore into oxide ore. Okay, because the ores of other kind they cannot be reduced into metal easily, but oxide ore can be reduced or easily into metal. That means metal can extract easily from oxide ore when compared to uh, the extraction from other types of ores. Okay, so that is why all other types of ores are converted into oxide ores. So, so how to convert the other ores into oxide ores? So there are different methods. So one of the method is calcination. What is calcination? Calcination is nothing but heating of the ore. That means ore is heated. Ore other than oxide ore, if any other ore is present, so that ore is heated in the absence of air. So ore is heated in the absence of air. So below its melting point. So that means that ore should not be allowed to melt. So we have to heat the ore. So heating of the ore should be done in such a way that that ore should not melt. So that means we have to heat the ore below its melting point. So the process of heating of ore in the absence of air below its melting point is said to be calcination. Generally, this method is generally used to convert mainly carbonate ore or hydrated metal hydroxide ores into oxide ore. Okay, so this method is generally used for conversion of carbonate. For example, zinc carbonate. So when it is heated in the absence of air, what happens? So the carbonate ore is converted into oxide ore. Okay, and carbon dioxide is removed off. So carbonate ore is converted into oxide ore. So like this. So this method is generally used to convert a carbonate ore or hydrated metal hydroxide ores, okay, into oxide ores finally. Okay. See, calcination process, it removes the moisture from the ore. If there is any moisture in the ore, so if we calcine the ore, then it removes the moisture from the ore, and also it makes ore porous. What is the meaning of porous? Porous means making holes. Suppose if this is the ore, then if you heat that ore, what happens? So it becomes porous. That means small, very tiny holes are created. Why tiny holes are created? See, actually, in the place of these holes, there are impurities. Okay, all the impurities, they are volatile impurities. So upon heating this ore, what happened? Upon heating this ore, so all the volatile impurities are removed off, and in their place, so there will be empty spaces. Okay, very tiny pores or else tiny empty spaces are left over. That means calcination makes ore porous. That means small, very tiny holes are created in the ore. Okay, right. And it removes water of crystallization from the hydrated salts. Okay, suppose if there is any hydrated salt, so if it is prone to calcination, what happens? If the hydrated salt is subjected to calcination, then water of crystallization is removed from that ore, hydrated ore. Okay, so if you want to remove, water of crystallization, then we may use this calcination method. Okay, next, it expels volatile impurities. Already we have seen volatile impurities. So upon heating, if any impurity it gets evaporated, then such impurities are said to be volatile impurities. Okay, it expels, that means calcination process will remove. Expels means removes. Remove what? Volatile impurities from the ore. Okay, right. And it decomposes metal carbonates into metal oxide. So metal carbonate, so upon heating in the absence of air, okay, it decompose. This carbonate will decompose into metal oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, and one more thing, so it is done in a special type of furnace known as a reverberatory furnace. What is furnace? Furnace is nothing but a place or else a construction where very high temperatures are created. Okay, so any substance, it is heated to very high temperatures in the furnaces. Okay, so like this the furnace will help us. So there are different types of furnaces. So special type of furnace known as reverberatory furnace is used for the process of calcination. Okay, so calcination process is done in a special type of furnace known as a reverberatory furnace. Right. Another method by which ore is converted into oxide ore. So another method is roasting. Another method known as roasting. So we will learn what is roasting. So roasting is also another method where the ore is converted into oxide ore. See here in roasting, roasting is also done by heating of the ore in the presence of air. But calcination is in the absence of air, whereas roasting is in the presence of air. So if it is heated, so no need of mentioning the melting point. Okay. So here at higher temperatures we'll heat the ore in the presence of air. So this method is generally used to convert sulfide ores. Okay, to convert sulfide ores or to convert sulfide ore into oxide ore or to remove metal sulfide impurities, metal sulfides as impurities in the ore. Okay, that means in order to convert sulfide ore into oxide ore or else to remove metal sulfides as impurities from the ore. Okay, so for this purpose roasting is used. Okay, roasting is done in the presence of air. Right, so here even in roasting also, the process of roasting removes the moisture from the ore. It also makes ore porous. That means very tiny holes are created in the ore. So why holes are created? Why very tiny holes are created? Because in the place of impurities, so upon heating the impurities are removed and in their place holes are formed. Okay, right. So it removes water of crystallization from hydrated salts, like how it is done in calcination process. Even in this process also it expels volatile impurities, but it here actually In this process, it converts the sulfide ore into oxide ore. It converts sulfide ore into oxide ore. Sulfide ore into oxide ores. Into oxide ore. Okay. So even it is also done. It is also done in a reverberatory furnace. See, for example, let us take iron sulfide. Okay, iron pyrites. So when it is heated in the presence of air, when iron sulfide is heated in the presence of air, so what happens? This iron will convert into its oxide, ferric oxide. Okay, and even the sulfur is also converted into its oxide, sulfur dioxide. Okay, so if we balance this, so finally we will get the balanced equation like this. Okay, so what is happened in this process? So this is what sulfide ore. The sulfide ore is converted into oxide ore in the presence of oxygen. So that means air in the presence of where does this oxygen is coming from? So this oxygen is coming from the air. So that means roasting is a process of heating of the ore in the presence of air. Okay, so like this finally the other ores are converted into oxide ore. Okay, now what is the next process involved? So here till now we have seen different processes like dressing of the ore, concentration of the ore, and conversion of the other type of ore into oxide ores. Now the next process is extraction of the metal from the concentrated ore. Extraction of the metal from the concentrated ore. Extraction of the metal from the concentrated ore. So that means from the ore metal is extracted. See, actually this process involves reducing agent. This process involves the usage of reducing agent, a substances known as reducing agents. Reducing agents are used. So there actually the conversion of ore into metal, it is nothing but a reduction process. It is nothing but what? A reduction process. Because in the ore, inside the ore, the metal is present in the form of metal ion. Metal ion is always cation. Metal ions are always cations. So this metal ion, so from the metal ion from the ore is converted into metal. So metal ion means a positive ion. So when does this positive ion is converted into metal? Upon addition of electrons. When electrons are added to metal ion, then only it will convert into metal. Okay, because metal ions are positive ions. So when positive ions are present, so if we add electrons to that positive ion, then we will get metal. Okay, that means addition of electrons is nothing but reduction process. So that means the conversion of ore into metal is a reduction process. Okay, it involves the usage of reducing agent. See, there are different types of reducing agents. The conventional reducing agents are coke. Coke means carbon, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and even electricity also. Even electricity is also can be used okay, as a reducing agent. Okay, see the choice of these are all different reducing agents. So the choice of usage of reducing agent, it depends upon the type of metal and its position. It means that metal's position, in the metal activity series, or else in the electrochemical series. In the electrochemical series. So the way the position of the metal. So depending upon the position of the metal in the electrochemical series, so the different types of reducing agents are used. Okay, for example, if you write the electrochemical series, so potassium, sodium, calcium, okay, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, okay, lead, hydrogen, okay, copper, mercury, silver, okay, platinum, gold. So this is electrochemical series. See, so this, for the conversion of, or else for the extraction of these two metals, okay, we use electricity. So that means the method of obtaining of these metals is by electrolysis method. Electrolysis of fused salts. What is the meaning of fused salts? Fused salts means molten salts. Molten salts of what? Potassium or sodium. So here molten salts of sodium or potassium, upon electrolysis we will get the metals potassium and sodium. Okay, so here that means electricity is used as reducing agent. And for other metals up to copper, so we may use reducing agents like coke, carbon monoxide, okay, etc. Okay, next for the ores related to mercury or silver, so these metals are obtained from their ores by simple heating. Okay, upon simply heating the mercury ore or it's a silver ore, we can obtain mercury metal or silver metal. Okay, for platinum and gold, see actually these metals they do not occur in their ores, in the form of their ores. They occur in their native form. That means they occur in the form of ore, in the form of metal itself. Okay, so for for the platinum and gold, so there is no method of conversion. Already no need of, or else it does not require any method of conversion. Okay, because already they are in the metallic state. Okay, now we learn different processes which are involved in the extraction of metal from the concentrated ore. So here the different processes, it depends upon what? the position of the position of the metal in the electrochemical series. Okay, so depending upon the position of the metal in the electrochemical series, so here there are several methods we use to extract the metal from the ore. So what are those several methods we will learn now? So the first important method is electrolysis method, electrolytic method, or else electrolysis method, electrolysis of fused ore. So first one is electrolysis process. So generally the metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, even calcium also, magnesium and aluminum. Okay, remember. Okay, so these metals, so these metals are extracted. These metals are extracted from their oxides or halides. From their oxides or from their halides. Okay, from their halides. So from the oxides or halides. So these oxides or halides, they are first fused. They are first molten from their fused oxides or fused halides. Okay, fused oxides or fused halides upon electrolysis of fused oxides or fused halides, so we can obtain these metals. Okay. So actually uh, into the fusion, for example, take sodium chloride. So fused sodium chloride, molten sodium chloride, it contains what? It contains sodium ions and chloride ions. So when current is passed into this solution, a solution of sodium and chlorine ions, sodium chloride, fused sodium chloride. So here these are the electrodes. These are the electrodes. So one is cathode and another one is anode. So this is negative terminal, positive terminal. So this is what the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal is called as cathode, and the electrode which is connected to the positive terminal is called as anode. So what happens? So cathode is negative charged and the anode is always it is what? Positive charged. So the ions which are present, so they will move towards the respective electrodes. So cation will move towards cathode and anion, okay, anion will move towards anode. So the cation means metal ion. So metal ions, that means when electricity is passed through this, what happens? So the ions will, the substance will break down. Lysis. What is the meaning of lysis? Lysis means breakdown. So by passing electricity, so if the fused sodium chloride, it is, separated. The positive ions and negative ions are separated. So this process is said to be electrolysis process. Okay. See now this metal ion. So the metal ion will move towards cathode. At cathode, what happens? The metal ion will take electrons and they discharge into metals. So at cathode, the metal ions will discharge of metal ions into metals is done at a cathode. Okay. See here, this metal ion, it cannot be reduced into metal by conventional reducing agents. Conventional reducing agents, they does not have that much energy to break down this one, okay, to break down this sodium chloride, okay, into sodium ions and chloride ions, and they cannot convert the metal ion into metal. So but here that can be done, that can be done by electricity, by passing of electricity. So what happens? So these metals, the ions of these metals, they can be reduced into the metals, okay, their ions can be reduced into these metals, okay, only in the only with the help of electricity it can be achieved. uh, the reducing agents cannot cannot convert these metal ions into the metals, okay. So that means these metals cannot be reduced by conventional reducing agents such as carbon monoxide or hydrogen, because they do not provide sufficient energy to break this one. So electricity can break this one, but carbon, that means coke or carbon monoxide or hydrogen, so it is not having sufficient energy to break the bonds, okay. Hence these are the conventional reducing agents. So conventional reducing agents cannot work or else cannot be used to reduce, I mean to obtain the metal from the ores of these metals. Now we learn how this coke is used, where that coke is used, under what conditions this coke can be used as a reducing agent. So here with these metals, for the extraction of these metals, so the conventional reducing agents does not work. So the only way to extract these metals from their ores is by electrolysis process, and that too. So the ores of these metals should be in the form of either oxides, or else they should be present in the form of halides, and that too they should be in molten state, molten oxide or else a molten halide. So only under these conditions their ores can be converted into these metals, okay, right. Now reduction by coke, with the help of coke, reduction with the help of carbon monoxide, okay. So reduction by thermal heating, okay, reduction by aluminum powder. So all these things we will learn one by one, okay. First we will learn reduction by coke. So how coke helps us in the reduction of certain ores into the metals, okay. So electrolysis process is used, okay, the process of electrolysis is used for metals like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium and aluminum, okay. So next one is usage of coke, that means reduction, okay, reduction by using coke, reduction by using coke. Generally, so this method is used for the reduction of metals like zinc, iron, okay, lead and copper, lead and copper, okay. So these metals can be obtained from their ores by using coke as the reducing agent, okay. So the metal oxide is mixed. So for example here zinc oxide, so the metal oxide, okay, metal oxide, when it is mixed with coke and if it is heated, what happens, this coke will take the oxygen and convert into carbon monoxide and reduces the zinc, okay, reduces into the ore is reduced to the metal, Okay, that means the metal actually uh, in the ore, the metal is bonded with oxygen. So it is bonded with oxygen. So this zinc, it is not present in the form of metal. It is present in the form of metal ion. So this metal ion is finally converted into metal. So conversion of metal ion into metal, it involves what? Indirectly, it involves electrons. That means reduction process. Here the conversion of ore into metal is nothing but a reduction process. So why it is called as reduction process? Because the in the ore the metal is present in the form of metal ion. So that metal ion is converted into metal. So metal ion, conversion of metal ion into metal, it involves the addition of electrons. Hence the process is said to be reduction process. Okay. So carbon will reduce the metallic oxide, okay, into free metal, right? So in this way, so coke can be used. Coke has sufficient energy, okay, to break the bond between the zinc and oxygen, or else iron and oxygen, or else lead and oxygen, or else copper and oxygen. Okay. So as it is having sufficient energy, so coke can be used as reducing agent. So here no need of going for electrolysis, okay, to obtain these metals, because even with the help of coke we can do, okay, we can convert these metals into sorry the their ores into these metals. That means these metals can be obtained from their ores even by using coke. So no need of going for electrolysis process. Okay. So like this, reduction by coke can be studied. Right. Next, next is reduction by using carbon monoxide or hydrogen. So we will learn that in the next video.